the social media reaction genre, silly comments are considered especially heinous. At Dear Woke Christian, the dedicated content creators who investigate these horrible comments are members of an elite squad known as the Dusty Comments Unit. At Dear Woke Christian.
Grace and peace, everybody. We are back. You saw the thumbnail, you saw the title, so let's get at it. A lot of people have had some level of consternation because I don't buy into the whole narrative that MLK was some kind of great person. And I'm going to stick on one topic today, and I'm just going to drive the point home with one topic. MLK was pro-choice. Now, you're going to say, Jason, now where in the world did you get that from? That's crazy. You're out of control. You're all over the place. Watch this. Let's go ahead and bring up Wikipedia. And I'm going to look at Wikipedia's article about Margaret Sanger Award. Margaret Sanger Award was an honor awarded annually to the Planned Parenthood Foundation of America from 1966 to 2015. Created in honor of the legacy of Margaret Sanger, the founder of Planned Parenthood. It is the Federation's highest honor. It is given to individuals who recognize their excellence in leadership in the reproductive health and rights movement. Although it is identified as an annual award, it hasn't been given out since 2015. All right, now scroll on down here. We're going to look at the first recipient. In 1966, the first Sanger Awards were given in 1966 under the category of Human Rights, Medicine, Leadership, and Service. On the 50th anniversary of Planned Parenthood's founding, the award in human rights was presented to Martin Luther King Jr., who was unable to attend due to his critical work in the Chicago Freedom Movement. His wife, Coretta Scott King, received the reward on his behalf. All right, well, Jason, we don't trust and go with any of this foolishness from Wikipedia, because Wikipedia could be wrong, right? Wikipedia could be shady. Wikipedia could be suspect. Not a problem. Let's go ahead and pull up the actual newspaper article from that day. Let's go. Miss King receives award for husband. Mrs. Martin Luther King Jr. received a standing ovation Wednesday as she accepted the first Margaret Sanger Award in Human Rights for her husband, Dr. Martin Luther King, at the 50th anniversary of the dinner for Planned Parenthood at the Shoreham Hotel. Dr. King was to have been honored Wednesday night by the Planned Parenthood organization, as well as being a recipient of $1,000 of the Margaret Sanger Award. In the telegram, Dr. King expresses regret for not being able to attend due to pressing business concerns in his Chicago movement, or to have been chosen. He was honored. So they should have said honored, so it got cut off. Honored to have been a recipient of the Sanger Award. After receiving the award from the Canville, the chairman of the governing body of International Planned Parenthood Federation, prior to reading a statement from her husband, Mrs. King said, "I am deeply honored and have yet humbled to stand in this position and to fill my husband's shoes. Certainly they are far too big for me. And I would like to thank Mr. Cranville for the kind words you have said about my husband. This award will serve not only to inspire him, but to encourage to continue in the work that he is doing. I feel a part of this beautiful award, which I had seen before I came here tonight. I feel privileged to have been able to stand beside my husband during the past 10 years. Also, I am proud tonight to say a few words on his behalf and my husband concerning the founder of this award." In a statement she read. And I believe that's the end of it. All right. Oh, no, it is from her husband, Mr. Mrs. King said, colored citizens half constitute half the poor of this nation. Like all poor, color, and white, they have many unwanted children. This is a cruel evil they urgently need to control. There is nothing inherent in the color of man's mentality and colored man's mentality which creates this condition. Their poverty causes it. When colored citizens have been able to ascend economically, statistics reveal that they plan their families with even greater care than whites. Colored citizens of higher economic and educational status actually have fewer children than white families in the same circumstances. I think we can see pretty clearly that he's not denigrating this at all. Let's continue. In his statement, Dr. King pointed out that some commenters say that the present birth rate indicates it will not be long before colored citizens are a majority in many major cities of the nation. But he maintains that the race does not seek population control, but population explosion. Let me start it again. But he maintains that the race does not seek political control by population explosion. Rather, they are more interested in what they are entitled to and do not wish for any domination purchased at the cost of human misery. It was pointed out by Dr. King that Afro Americans were once bred by slave owners to be sold as merchandise and that they do not welcome any solution which involves population breeding as a weapon. All right. I think that's the end of it. Let me just double check. Because the way they have this situated is wild. Okay, I think that's the end of it. Okay, cool. All right. All right. So we saw it on Wikipedia. We saw it on the ancient newspaper article. But Jason, clearly, if you jump to the Margaret Sanger, or rather, if you jump to Planned Parenthood, you won't see it on their website because that just doesn't make sense. This is all just propaganda, Jason. You're just saying this. You're just kind of just being a meanie guy and all that kind of stuff like that. So if is it on Planned Parenthood's website? I think that's a great question. Let's go find out. All right, let's jump to Planned Parenthood. Planned Parenthood Foundation of America Margaret Sanger Award winners. Let's go. Because he's a winner. He's a winner at this game where people lose their lives. He's a winner. Shout out. All right. So it starts up here 2015. So we're going to scroll all the way down to 1966. And look at that. The Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. Let's click on it real quick and see his biography. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. sparked the conscience of the nation as he courageously and selflessly gave direction to the early civil rights movement in the United States, resisting bigotry and inspiring women and men worldwide and advancing social justice and human dignity. He also lent his eloquent voice to the cause of worldwide voluntary family planning. Both he and Margaret Sanger challenged unjust laws and cruel social customs and blind prejudice that still holds people in ignorance and poverty and despair. Mrs. Coretta Scott King delivered her husband's acceptance speech on his behalf, saying there is a striking kinship between our movement and Margaret Sanger's early efforts. Our sure beginning in this struggle for equality by nonviolent direct action may not have been so resolute without the tradition established by Margaret Sanger and people like her. All right. I laid it out. That's my case. Martin Luther King Jr. was pro-choice. I can't accept a pro-choice person like that and venerate him. Now, did he do some things that were good? Is his name tied to good efforts? Sure, we can make that case. But can we also make the case that his name is tied to other things that are completely deplorable and, dare I say, an abomination to this nation and to the world? Absolutely, positively. So therefore, how about we just leave Martin Luther King Jr. as just a human? Stop trying to venerate him. Stop trying to exalt him up as something that he doesn't need to be propped up as. Only person that needs to be propped up, the only one that needs to be venerated is Christ. Martin Luther King Jr. is not that. So I appreciate y'all rocking with me. Thank you so very much for liking this video. You did watch to the end. Leave me a heart down in the comment section. Let me know that you stayed all the way to the end. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. And until next time, everybody, grace and peace.
Hit that like for deal Christian. For deal Christian. Smash that bell for DLC. Smash. MLK. Sham such for deal Christian. For deal Christian. Smash that bell for DLC. Smash. Just smash. Hit that like for deal Christian.